Welcome to this week's edition of Inenco's Energy Update. Concerted action by members of the Scottish Parliament, the major Scottish power companies and business organisations has raised the impact of electricity transmission charges on the development of renewable generation. In a letter to The Times, the group said that these charges have already caused a number of projects to be cancelled. To get more detail on these issues, we're joined by Nick Campbell from the energy trading team. Nick, what are these charges that are causing the concern?
Generators have to pay a charge to use a transmission network. These charges are based on the capacity of your generator and how far it's going to be carried.
So Scottish generators have to pay more?
Yes, that's right. In the Highlands, where many generators are based, they are faced with a charge of over £20 per kilowatt. So a large wind turbine, a 1 megawatt one for example, would be charged over £20,000 per year.
And does this apply across the rest of the UK?
There are charges across most of the UK. For example, here in Lancashire, it's around £6 per kilowatt. In some areas though, especially in the south of England, generators can actually get paid a small amount rather than being charged.
That seems unfair. Why does that happen?
The South East have a large share of demand but a very small proportion of generation. Those generators who set up in the South reduce the total cost of the transmission.
Would these charges really stop projects from moving forward?
It's possible, Katey, that a 1 megawatt turbine could make around £175,000 from the electricity it sells and a £20,000 cost, which is significant, but this ignores the subsidy payments which will more than compensate.
So is this really an issue?
Connection to the network overall is a major issue for generators. The upfront cost can be hundreds of thousands of pounds. Many generators aren't allowed to send their full capacity, and when you add these transmission charges in as well, network connection makes up a big chunk of total costs.
Energy companies in Northern Ireland are this week discussing the amount of compensation that will be paid to customers who lost power in the freak ice storm at the start of April. The build-up of ice caused both power lines and poles to come down. It left 48,000 customers without power, some for up to 6 days. Nick, how worried should we be about this kind of event?
It's important to realise that this wasn't a problem with supply, but rather a result of freak weather. It does though point out that the electricity network is vulnerable.
Has this got worse recently?
The weather conditions have been getting more and more extreme, but the issue is more to do with the increasing reliance we expect to have on electricity as a main source of energy.
So is this going to be a problem for the future?
A recent study suggested that the EU would need to spend hundreds of millions of pounds getting its electricity networks ready for the future. We need to see the plans for this coming forward as soon as possible.
The European Wind Energy Association has today published the results of a study in Germany, Denmark and Belgium, showing that electricity prices reduced based on the proportion of wind energy used. Nick, this seems to be contrary to the idea that renewable energy will put prices up.
This issue is about the cost of building the required capacity. These costs have to be recovered, and this pushes up prices. Once the systems are in place, then as the report suggests, the marginal cost of generation is very low.
So consumers could see bills coming down?
The report is focused more on the impacts on the wholesale market. We could see these prices come down. However, we don't really know how the investment costs will be factored into the final prices that a customer pays.
Thanks, Nick. That's all that we have time for this week. Join us next week when we'll be looking at what the future may hold for energy after the election. But for now, from Nick and myself, thank you for watching and goodbye.